Gamers, Facebookers, snappers, TikTokers, and now podcasters. Welcome to my first ever PinnCast. The place where you learn to listen and listen to learn. I'm your host, Ryan Pin Quinn, and boys, have I got an absolute treat for you today. Our first guest needs no introduction. In these parts, a local legend, a very, very close friend of mine, almost a decade now, and a force of nature in his own right. Now, before I bring him on, let's take a closer look at the man behind the viral sensation. It all began when he stepped onto the snowy Northern Irish bus in 2015 for an innocent interview on a local news about the weather. Little did he know that cheeky chat would turn into a virtual, viral sensation we all know and love today. His humour, his thick Derry accent, and genuine personality struck a chord with the whole country and beyond, making him an internet sensation overnight. He quickly became a household name, and that cheeky grin of his was everywhere and looked at. This boyo is not just a viral sensation. He's his own unique individual with a genuine passion for making positive impact. Today, I have the privilege of sitting down with him to explore the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Get ready for a roller coaster of laughs, of life lessons. We're about to unveil the layers of the man that is the Frostbit phenomenon. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's give a big warm welcome to this man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Ruairi McSorley.
How's it going?
How's it going, Rory?
We're getting into it now.
Good man.
Right, you were right.
Right, Rory. I want to just have a friendly chat with you.
No bother.
All right? I'm not going to, what do I say? I'm not going to script this. All right? I'm reading off my laptop there because I have to be a wee bit professional. But
Oh no, we're grateful for the opportunity. Now it's good to have just broke the ice and gone round a few more professional podcasts. You know, just these more or better known podcasts. Well, you know, these big name podcasts this last while after my years of hibernation there. So it's it's good just to get sat down with somebody that I've known for years now. To be fair, just a different element as I'm sort of building myself back up. So good to be here anyway, Ryan.
well, there's one thing about me and you. We're far from professional, and we're professional from far.
Oh, that's fact.
You know, so you're in closeness and then you're out far. So, Rory, I want to just dive into how we met. All right, and that was maybe 2014, maybe 15.
Oh, it was about 15 or 16 anyway, aye.
It was just after you had become viral.
Wasn't long after us, right?
Yeah, and we'll get to that part there. But I don't, people just know you for that part. I know you for a whole lot of. I've been different places with you, and I've had many nights crack and stuff like that. But I met you at a time I had a franchise LS gym up in Gibbon. The fella that owned the franchise, he ran a charity do called Run Damn Run.
That's right.
And are you a family, are you related or just neighbours?
Cousins,
Cousins. So they said to me that you were calling up, and at this time you're just basically you're famous. Everybody knew you everywhere. And you just come up, this young lad, check shirt on him, pair of jeans, well, you had tight cut hair, and you're up the top of the field, mine sliding down the
mud run.
Mine the mud run is
right.
all soap and water, and you're just sliding down it, and you never changed the clothes. You just div straight in.
And then just got the hose before I could put the clothes back on.
And then we headed on. We went to the Ponderosa.
That's right, aye.
It's the highest pub or restaurant. So that was my
in Ireland apparently, aye.
That was my first introduction to you. Like I might get into the Ponderosa, and everybody wanted it.
Why, what was your first impression?
I just, you know what? a lot of people in your shoes at that time would have got that feed, that amount of people, following them, become a wee bit above themselves. There's one thing, but your feet always stayed on the ground. And like we went into the Ponderosa and people wanted to talk to you, people wanted to speak to you, just wanted a bit of, what's to say, frost. They wanted a bit of frostbite. And like you were talking to everybody and you just didn't change. You just were so down to earth. And like that's something I stuck with me, with you. And a lot of people think it's an act, it's put on. What you get is, what you see is what you get.
Oh, it still is.
Yeah.
That always was.
So that was my first time meeting you, and I just want the viewers here to know the connection between me and you. It's not all about me here; it's about you. But I want to kind of get me out.
I sure kept in touch.
And then we had a few. I mean, do you mind the time you come up to stay with me? We went out. I mean, we went to Marfelt. It was at LMD makeup studio.
Oh, that's right,
And we went on the.
Then we done the video. That's right,
the live. And thousands of people.
That's right. What were we even talking about in that?
Well, she was doing a girl's makeup at the time that I knew that worked in the gym, and we went in for the crack.
That's right.
And then you went on. We went live, and it was fucking crazy the amount of people that tuned in to just watch you, and it was like, it was just, but it was, people just don't get the way you get on. It was like. Do you mind that you go to somebody's house? You were staying with me, and do you mind what you had the bloopers? What do you call them? Bloopers? It was the boxers. You call them bloopers.
Boxers.
You had a toothbrush.
Oh, that was the overnight case.
And then you had the credit union book.
Right.
But like, there was no bank card. There was the credit union book.
I know.
And that was a Saturday.
That's right. I remember that. All right.
But sure, we didn't money. Where are we going to get a credit union open on a Sunday?
Well, I probably had already been to it at that stage. or maybe it was only evidence of an excuse for it. Maybe I was looking us up or something.
No, that was like, it just was innocent of you. Like, that's how you came. You had no bag, you had no nothing, just you had all in the pocket.
And no one could be away for a fortnight just for that.
And that was like, and then what else did we? Then you feel like you kind of fell in with family members of mine there that run the Crumlin Road jail down.
That's right. Oh no, I was grateful for your dad to give me that now, just to give me that bit of backing to get a chance now. It was, I think that was a great idea that we had at the time. It was just a nice that I had seen for the fact that, whenever the country revolution was starting, it's full tilt that type of way, and these country dances was a big thing with all these young people and that. I just sort of had seen this bit of a gap that, maybe you could get these country singers all coming to Belfast and that. Then me and you was just talking about it one time, and then you had mentioned your dad with the jail and that, and we had all agreed there was.
Oh, it was a good idea.
There was mileage in it, So I suppose the thing would have been that I'd have been working along with your dad just to, I was right, I can get the publicity going, I can get social media going, and we'll get these people invited, all of which I had done. But the best night we could get was like a Thursday night, and I says, look, to put that amount of work into, you don't mind whenever you're starting up a business or something, and if you are just at least covering costs and that, that's okay. It does take time for things to, become profitable and that, but if I've put on all the donkey work and all that there, and then, if they just weren't going to give you a shot at the Saturday night and things like that after that.
That was the band, the singers. It wasn't, you could have got the venue, but it was the singers. But it just showed, like, from a young age that you were driven. You were taking. There's one thing about you, you'll take chances.
I will take chances now.
You'll put your balls on the table.
Oh, I will. Oh no, I hadn't much else to put on the table now, but that was. But I used what I had now. To be fair, the best I could. But no, we're still not there yet. There's still a lot of a fight to go yet. But the only thing impossible is to beat a man won't give up. But that is the entrepreneurial journey, and it just keep looking for these different niches and that. And maybe. I do wonder at times, maybe it probably would have been easier and you might have been a millionaire long ago if you had put the brains and the drive into just looking at like the process of, maybe things like, sort of these more, these sort of digital ways of making money and things like that. If you had just sort of focused on that, so maybe I was sort of nearly
I get this question last night. I was at a party last night, and this young boy at 25 come up and asked me, and he says to me, look, you're a man I'd like to ask, I want to start my own business. It was paving or something like that. And he asked me, and I just says to him, like, two things I said, social media is the main thing. First thing is, can you do the job?
Oh, wow.
And he said, he said he was great at it. And he has content of them before and afters. Right? And I said to him, look, if you have that, that's a start. I says, but you have to have a set of balls. You have to have the will to
You
work.
have to get out and do it out.
And that's what I find about you. The amount of things I've seen you, like auctioneering, dances, I've seen you on BT Broadband, Lidl. Like that's only to name a few. Like you've put yourself out there, like, and we'll talk at the end here what your next goal is, like, and it's big, it's massive.
I think that's been what all the learning.
But you've always told me, so like we've kept in contact all the time, and you've always said to me, I've this big plan. I'm not going on social media. I'm staying low. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Yeah. And that was like, that's one thing about you, like, and it brings us even right up to today. And we're talking in the car coming down. You have a serious drive to achieve.
Oh no, that always was like
and
that.
And it is good. It'll take one of those things just to click.
That will. But the harder you do work at it, then the luckier you get. That's just the way. I mean, I think the opportunities do present themselves whenever the time's right. If you just if you sort of put the work on, then it and you're ready to do it, then finally the thing does click. But at the same time, I think maybe one thing that I've probably been missing has just been the right people around me.
Circle.
And I mean that is the thing, and it is frustrating at times.
There's a saying there's no corners in a circle.
Oh, there's not.
So if you
need that circle, you're encroached in
people
success.
In corners or around corners or. So let's go. We'll go back. We'll go back to Rory. Rory, where were you born?
Park.
And that's
in County Derry.
It's beside Dingle.
Aye.
Yeah. So
about
just
10 minutes outside Dingle.
And any brothers, sisters?
Well, apparently not. but the old boy worked away a lot now.
Right. Aye. So what did your father do?
He's an engineer.
Right.
He always worked away out in all these other countries. He's just anywhere except Park at all.
Right. And where would he been? Like what countries was he in? Because like it's nice to get a good background of where this drive's coming from.
No, well he worked out in Africa and out in America and England and all the rest of it. Now, well, you're saying where the drive come from? I mean there would be nobody in my family would sort of have that.
What about your mother? She's
an accountant.
Right.
She's sort of semi-retired at the minute as well. But they were both very smart now at the same time. But as the wonderful entrepreneurs, they're sort of more middle class there, that type of way.
Well, I called up today to lift you, like it's a nice home, a nice.
Okay, they both done well, like
because they're not slow dosers, like.
Oh Jesus, no, they're definitely not. It was just, but it's just different. You see, I always says like, I mean, the thing about the middle and the top is just like people in the middle focus on reputation, people at the top focus on value.
Yeah,
there's just a wee bit of there's just a wee bit of a different wavelength there, that type of way. But it's just, that's just kind of where that you're talking about, that drive, I suppose. Just in my own mindset, that type of way. So it's not something that I really did pick up from anybody around me now, to be honest with you.
And what about primary school? So like, how did you get on primary school? 11 plus out when you were there? Did you do it?
Oh, aye.
Well.
Got an A, aye.
You got an A in it?
Aye.
Right, good.
Oh, that was always very smart at school like that way.
And then secondary school, where'd you go?
Lumen Christie.
And
Derry, and in Derry City, like.
And GCSEs?
Oh, like nearly all.
Got all
stars,
well.
aye.
Good man.
Nearly, aye.
Yeah, and A-levels?
Aye. I done them as well, aye.
And you went on to college, you were telling us earlier on.
Only
so
for
what happened there?
Oh, that was another. The mother says we had to go case there, all right, but.
And how did you get on there?
Oh, and the finish up just. I mean, I was a bit fed up with school at that stage. I says, right, look, you know what? There's going to be no negotiation with this woman, and I says, but there's not really any. What you were studying there was Irish and media. I thought, right, look, I know enough of the Irish, I still love the Irish there, that type of way. I think it was good. I would love to see more people, in Ireland, I think we'd be less frustrated as a country if we did talk it instead of English there, that type of way, I think. But, I mean, at the same time, for my own purposes, I felt, right, I've been there and done that, and then the media side of it, I thought, right, what I need to do is focus on growing a personal brand and be able to, sort of raise that up. So, I mean, by that stage, everybody already knew who I was. I says, look, I mean, the opportunities that people's going to get, I mean, university sort of, in my view, just for people who, it's just exploiting these people who don't know what they want to do by selling them a package of overcomplicated common sense.
Rory, so I hear this on social media all the time. These people come on and they say, oh, and maybe I could have been guilty of it because like I never delete anything off my social media. People go in the past, well, you said that there. I always throw my hands up. I could have. I see a lot of people coming on that have done well in business and they say, oh, look, if you failed your exams today, don't worry about it. Look at me. If I was to go back, would you be in the green? You're a lot younger than me. Like, what are you, 27, 28?
27.
You're a young man. Like, you're like I hadn't even started my first business then. You know, I was like only coming out of prison at that age. Would you say to a young person now, make sure and educate yourself?
Well, you need to know what you're talking about, but I mean, but you don't need to, but there's, especially now in this age, right?
Because see me personally, it could be taken away from me in the morning. Like, my business could be taken, just one mistake in the morning, it could take, what do I lay back on? I don't have, like, I have no GCSEs, I'm not like you, I think that's class. Honestly, I think it's class that you have your GCSEs, your A levels, but I'd be an advocate for young ones, and we have a lot of young ones here watching. You don't have to agree with me. No, I'm not here to be agree, you can just tell me that. I would be one to say that for young ones to at least get some kind of education. It'll help you.
But you see, but the knowledge and education is too different. I mean, well, are you talking about being educated and knowing what you're talking about, or are you talking about education, the brand?
No, you want to get your A levels and one of GCSEs, or get something behind you instead of just dropping out of school.
Right, but you see, I think the thing about that is that's just basically like this random mix of all this entry level academic stuff. I don't think this is part of the things I'm talking about. If I was to become Taoiseach, that we would streamline the education system a lot more to expedite success. No, because I don't think there's really enough focus on an end goal.
Yes.
Do you know? Yes. I think that's the problem.
I get you.
Do you know? Yeah. So, I mean, I would go down the line of saying, right, I would get people out, say that has owned a construction company and say, right, I want you to come in and say, right, I would say, right, we don't have enough construction companies in the country. Right, that's me partly talking political, but I'll give you, you're talking about education, how I would rewire it, right? You would say, right, we don't have enough construction companies in the country. Here's what we'll do. We'll put an invitation out for people to come to a teaching college. Yes. We'll put out like a sort of a course round all of our schools then, and how to do this, as a good way to fulfill national needs and ambitions then. Do you know what I mean? Or it might be something else. Maybe we want more, production companies or whatever, and try and get different young people.
Exactly.
Make it more goal orientated. Because the amount of these, they're just sort of like.
Well, I think the school, my school out at Holy Trinity College, I think they're trying to bring in the type of Terax and them type of companies in now that they're keeping them at school to teach them even teaching like sales, teaching like marketing, teaching all that stuff. I picked that all up myself. Like, but I didn't teach that. I didn't get that taught to me in school. But you're and
networking as well. Because see if you try to, like, if you made a conscious effort to instill that into more young people, and they sort of seen school as a bit more of a springboard towards an end result, that that would be where you'd grow your entrepreneurial ecosystem for the country. That would be part of my vision for where I'd like the country to go. So I mean, no, I don't really buy into the education system as it does, and I think
you would promote education, getting educated, but educated in a different kind of models in the schools. I suppose I got my drive from my father. I was round that circle.
I was going to ask you that, no, and I don't mean this like a snide sort of way of saying that, because I know how hard you work for what you had and that, but how do you think that, having the lucky your old boy who is obviously very, he's very tuned
me growing up, like, my father would stand at the bottom of the stairs and shout, "Boys, you up?"
Aye.
And we would get up and put our t-shirts on and get back into bed. And he'd be back 5 minutes later, "You up?" So you learn the art of getting out of bed. And some people can't do that. Did he put a silver... Daddy worked very hard, Mummy. So they put a silver spoon out, but we had to stretch our necks out and eat off it. It wasn't down our throat, like.
No, but I don't even mean just in a parenting sense. I just mean like...
But the working and all. Like, I was like cleaning buses out and up in the morning, and I mind going one morning to look for a window of a bus. away in Slough up around here. Somebody had pushed out of the bus and was, I mind doing all that stuff. Yeah.
And but like the work ethic and the entrepreneurial side and the whole lot of it, as you say, it's just being around that, and that's that rubbed off on you then.
And you don't need your your next door neighbour could own a business, and you could nip in next door and say, look, can I have a job? Can you show me what to do? And you start working from a young age to get it works. And I think that's how I become where I am today, like. But again, it can be taken away from me in the morning, like. Get complacent, So let's get to the part of what do I say? It doesn't refine who you are, Frostbit, right? It's got you in places like this now. Sitting here with me and sitting with the other podcasts. So what's this like for the younger viewers looking in here that don't know who Rory is, right? He's going to explain how he become viral before anybody else was on social media. Before there was 10k followers, 100k followers, 1 million followers. You done millions on YouTube. And just explain to the, especially younger viewers, how it happened.
Well, it was just whenever I was 18 and I was just randomly going to school, and then there was a couple of cameramen come up to me for this routine weather report and just asked me what was the weather like, and then I said what I said. Oh God, you won't be long getting frostbite. And then this clip of me, all these people love my accent, and it just went looking viral all over the world then. And ever since that, life's never been the same at all.
So like when you go out places, everybody knows who you are. And
well, they don't be so sure with the hair and the beard, but as soon as I open my mouth, mate.
What happened? What is the hair? What is this? Is this a...
Initially just the barbers were shut during COVID, and then I just grew out and decided to keep it then.
What was the band you told me who you want to be? Was it Aquaman?
Oh, Aquaman. We're still working on everything below the neck, but above the neck's 100% for Aquaman.
Pop a picture up here of Aquaman just to show is there any resemblance? There is a bit. There is. I have to agree. Like there is. The hair is the same, the beard's the same, but just need
the body and the shoulders and arms might need a wee bit of work, but other than that, we've good strong legs now, right enough. A lot of walking on that, but now we do need to now. And I know that's one thing now. Now you'll be saying, oh, you're not working hard enough or whatever else. Now look, I had been sincerely committed and still am to the prospect of a body transformation, and I will get it done. But I get I was doing these drug trials, and then whenever I was starting to exercise and all, then they says, right, you're not allowed any exercise for like 2 weeks before. I says, oh Jesus, it's like 1 step forward, 40 steps back, no matter what you do, that type of way. So I said, but I think that would be a brilliant thing for me to get going on the YouTube of the before and after. So it's certainly something I'll get done at some point. I'm not unhealthy or nothing, but just be a damn good sort of tool to having the.
Well, if you're in shape, people take you serious.
They do. That's true.
If you see someone comes in and they look in shape, the people take you serious. No,
the mental and emotional strength's there, but it's
So, right, we'll move on from the frostbite. As I say, I don't want. It's just to me.
Throw it out.
That's out the window with me. Like it's just for younger viewers, just to show how easy it is, just to come over, just to be a sensation overnight.
Oh, of course,
So then you started to do advertisements, and then you doing the broadband.
What
way did it go again? Can you remember the way?
The BT broadband. What? Oh, that's right. There was like this tongue twister.
Can you still remember it?
Oh, God, you have me. It was super fast fibre broadband for sure. She's far faster than a freezing fountain frostbite farmer fitter on a foggy Friday, a fine, funny, fun farm.
But you used to do it faster than that.
I did used to. No, I'm only just remembering it there. What do we say? Right, hold on. What was it? Super fast fibre broadband for sure, far faster than a freezing fountain frostbite farmer fitter on a foggy Friday, a fine, funny, fun farm.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think there's still some people on my Facebook that done that campaign and they love that.
And that was the fibre. I think you were working for B.
You were all over that.
And then did you do? Was it UTV or anything else? I know you done. What else did you do? I see you doing Lidl recently.
I did. That's right. That was only when a month ago.
What else did I see you doing? And then
it was a good wee ad that down.
You disappeared.
Wicklow.
You disappeared for a while.
I had sort of disappeared before that. I'd done the odd thing, but it was no. Well, I mean what
was the reason for disappearing? Did you just get fed up, or did you?
Well, I says, look, you're just not going to be able to give any personal guarantee of consistency with, the way things is at the minute. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to have to, I think you're going to have to go back to the drawing board, and you're just sort of because what happened, as you say, just randomly happened.
Yeah.
There wasn't really any construction of any type of proper brand that you're going to be able to, lace out into any proper long-term career, that type of way.
Yeah.
So you're just sort of going to have to, basically work out exactly where you were going, sort of just work out personally, what exactly is going to suit you. And, now it was very hard for me not to use what I had just to, just at least exploit the spoils that you did have, for a better financial benefit at the time.
Yeah.
But I knew long term it was what you were going to have to do in order to have any type of consistent longevity at all.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, I did that now. I wouldn't have just left it for quite as long if it hadn't just been for the virus, as well as a couple of challenges getting into America and that. But I'm still. But
You're in America,
I was,
yeah.
I know. I went out and done my auction and real estate license, and that was the plan, just to grow up like a personal brand with that, like that's really unique Irish auctioneer. But as time was going on, then I just, and all the fighting and struggling to get out there, that type of way, I just sort of thought, the Irish has been doing this, has been going to these lengths to get away for hundreds of years now, and I says, right, you know what, this tramping the world can't go on forever. Somebody's going to have to come up with the goods in the form of a better plan for how we can make our own country work. Yeah. So things was just getting dragged back and back again and again. I says, right, you know what, I'm just going to leave a political plan out there, and if they don't want me, then that's grand. You can enjoy the crack with Mary Lou and Varadkar and...
We had this chat earlier on. We'll touch on it towards the end.
We'll get to the end. No,
it was like you were talking about Conor McGregor and who else? You're talking about your Ryanair. What do you call that man?
Michael O'Leary.
And how them boys are massive Irish
successes.
But Conor had to go to America. And you're trying to. If we get to the end, we'll speak about that. But
yeah.
Right, we'll get to the part of you returned again, but you returned in the castaway too.
Oh, that's right.
So you were down in Dingle.
Well, that wasn't really an impromptu return. That was just that was just a warm up for what's about to come.
But you didn't mean to do this. This was.
Hey, that just
set this up.
Well, that did just get in the paper, like that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
so you went swimming with dolphins.
I did.
So give us a lowdown on that.
Well, I was just I was living in Kerry for about a year there. Whenever I got back from the cruise ships there, just because I could see there was nowhere, and I mean nowhere to rent north or south of the border at all. Whenever I got back from America, so there was so I was trying to find somewhere to rent then, and so I got myself sorted with a caravan down outside Tralee, which was grand anyway, and I was living down there. And it was during that time that I had. The political fire had sort of got ignited on me. I just as right, I really am going to come up with this plan. I'm not doing much fucking else, am I? And then I just sent away for it, and then started rewriting the Constitution and that. But anyway, it was around that time. It just sort of says, right, big goals needs even bigger men there, that type of way. And I was just sort of thinking about all the stuff that I would have to overcome if I was actually on that job. Well, that's just the type of frame of mind I was on anyway.
So the morning you swam with the dolphins, what were you doing that morning? How did you end up in the water? How did you get out of it?
I was only just down, back to Tralee, just to gather my clothes and that down from the caravan that I had been living on, because I was going to America the following week. So that was how I had come to be there. That was all right. And then I went back down, and then that morning I just got up then. It was about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning then, and then I just looked over at this lighthouse, and then just took the clothes off, just down to the jocks, and then just jumped on then and swam over to the lighthouse then, and then got there, and then there was dolphins in the water then earlier on in the day then I thought there were sharks then, and then I just seen the fins popping up then, and then I said, Jesus, I wish I'd Googled this to see whether they are sharks then. I wasn't sure.
I have a phobia of sharks too.
I says, well, sure. If they're going to chow the leg off me at that stage, there's not much I'm going to be able to do about it now, so just as right. We'll just go on to the end, and that was grand. Just took the breath on. Now, there were dolphins in the finish up, so everything was grand. Got over to the lighthouse then, and then says, yes, here we are now. and then started giving me speeches then out to the wind and the waves then.
Right.
About, I give me I give me election victory speech and give me United Ireland speech. I give all these different different speeches out from the lighthouse itself, and then after about geez, you want to hear me standing there? It's like, after hundreds of years of the constitutional question, that much here and all this here. I says, well, you says I wouldn't do it. You bastards, you know, it's a bit like Father Ted with the golden cleric. And so I was, then jumped back in the water just after about 20 minutes and went to swim home again then. And then there was all these helicopters and all flying over me. Then it didn't click that they were out looking for me at all. And then the Coast Guard just got me out onto the boat then.
So you weren't really in trouble. You had been fit to swim back in, or were you in trouble?
I believe I would have been fine.
Right.
The monitors made it out a bit of a different story.
Oh, this would be you come into the hospital.
Aye. No, the body temperature was well down, and they says now another half an hour. You had a good frostbite. It's our professional opinion. You'd have dropped, and the body would have remained unrecovered.
So what month was this? Was it
July or August?
Oh, so it wasn't.
Aye, but you see, I think that's part of the thing too. See, the weather was very good during the day and that. So you talk about frostbite and that. Like, I mean, it wasn't, now it was a bit cooler later on, mind you, but, by that stage you're well acclimatised to the water now. But it was, I mean, I obviously can't rule out what wouldn't have happened. But at the same time, death wasn't on the agenda, put it like that. It wasn't in my mind, Now, and I mean, all these people say, oh, you definitely would have, but I mean, if you'd have been pulled out after 7 hours, people probably would have said the same thing.
How long were you in it for?
14.
14 hours.
That's just a warm-up for what's about to come.
Right. And then they in and to the hospital then?
Aye. And
how long were you in for?
Just a day.
A day, oh, then you're right.
And then I was ordering Chinese and beer into the hospital then, just about half an hour later.
I seen a wee clip on your Instagram there. Just so anybody, if you just follow that wee link there, that's Rory's Instagram, you'll get to see more Rory now over the next while. So, Rory, a question there I didn't ask you, and it's maybe a very important question. How did they know you were missing?
They just seen my clothes lying on the beach. And then it was, and then whoever it was, just my neighbours and Kerry at the time just had rung the Coast Guard there, and then the whole search party went out then.
So after that episode there, what was next? Where did you go next?
I went back to America. That was the plan, just to resume the plans that I had before the virus then.
And did you fall in love over there, or did you meet anybody? Or?
Well, I couldn't just say I fell in love, but I was going to get married anyway. And
is that the wedding you asked me to?
That was the one I asked you to then, and then she just died me then in the funny shop then. So that was the end to that plan. I says, right, you know what? I am. Oh my God! After the amount of time that I've been waiting, and the amount that I put on, just even for the basics. Just like, I mean, I always say you can't build an empire on a sinkhole. But I mean, if you because I was going out there to, I was looking to be rich and famous and that, and become a big auctioneer and all the rest of it, right? So I mean, you can't just go out and Mickey Mouse visa and then just expect to be able to do well at that, because somebody's going to get jealous and then you're going to get deported or whatever. So you're going to have to get onto the country by the book, which was fine. But the days of going out and the boat's done, I mean, your options are relatively limited as far as going out with not a wild pile of money and building yourself up, But I mean, well, first of all, I mean, I wasn't just going to get slid onto some corporate company there that type of way. That's just not really, that's not really my thing. But I didn't have the 100 grand to put on for an investor visa then, so you were going to have to. So getting married sort of seemed like a decent enough option there, all right. But then, I mean, trying to direct your whole future off some woman's fluctuating emotions is a bit of not much of a strategy either.
So we'll just say she was a wee bit older than you.
She was about 75. But so what would have been, I mean, like if I had some doll my own age and she's looking to have children, and plus you have to go through a family committee, and all the rest of it. I says, I mean, that's nearly more bother.
Yeah.
Do you know, I says, so if you sum out all like that, and you know, whatever she demands, I'll supply, so that'll be, she'll get her pound of flesh out of it, and I'll get mine, and I'll get onto the country, and then I says, look, I says, as part of the contractual terms, I says, you know, like whenever I do become a multi-millionaire, then, you know, you could put it, I mean, caring is very, very expensive out there in America. I says, look, I promise I'll get you in a care home that they sweep the leaves at least once a year. Don't worry about that. Yeah. And she, everything sounded grand, but then, that was the end of it. I went home, and as you say, it asked you as well as half the country to the wedding. I was going to have like a business lunch as well as a wedding for a marquee company. I was going to... Yeah. And it all worked out. I was going to set up like a marquee company just and use the wedding as the business lunch, and then the next it then she kicked the bucket then, so we'd have to have to do it. But she was sort of getting cold feet before the end of it. Then she was saying, I do not know as a follower of Jesus if I can marry you in good conscience if it would upset my relationship with the Lord and all of this. I says, oh Jesus, right, but disaster, but whatever. But you get up and you try again, away we go.
So that was that before COVID?
No, this was after the virus. This was after. This was whenever I went back to America after the virus. Then.
So then I touched base with you recently. You touched base with me.
That's right.
I come up to that. We're in Salem.
In Donegal. That's right. You were down with me a day in Donegal. That's right.
That's the day you swept the eggs up off the floor.
That's right. I
mean, you opened the chicken.
Well, we still have the before. Footage there, so it was good because I had a cameraman around just for my own YouTube there. So I mean, that's all. The before sitting there, I don't think there'd be much mileage in coming back to the after as far as the body transformation would be concerned. Still a fat.
Well, I raved up that. Anybody doesn't know where in Salem is. It's an island just off Derry, isn't it? It's
well, it's not. It's sort of nearly more like a moat than an island. It's
just one way in, one way out.
It's just about just between Derry and Buncrana.
And I pulled up and there was a row of like farmhouses, and out you come, and you had a cameraman with you, and you brought me in, and there was weights, and we looked who Aquaman was, and you could see the resemblance with the hair and the beard.
Do you know, if I did have a body like that, that'd be a great way for like an agent to market me there, that type of way. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, it is just the type of thing if you put the work on that. There's only these trials, and then whenever you're footing about and all the rest. I mean, it is hard to be consistent whenever you're sort of in that type of thing. But I mean, it is something we will get done now without.
Well, we started off with cooking first, and then the eggs fell over the floor, and then you sweep them up with a brush and pan. A lot of my followers got a good laugh.
That's right.
And then you opened the chicken. It was 4 days out of date, I think.
It was a thing of the past.
You said that if I eat that, I'll definitely lose weight.
A better rigor mortis, maybe.
I think we had to be an exit out of the kitchen there with that opened. So we've done that bit of footage and stuff like that. Like I haven't. I've just seen. This is where we get to this point here. I've seen you. You were telling me. You're explaining it. You explain it because. As we spoke about, we want this in layman terms as well.
Oh, I know.
Because there's younger viewers here, and even me, some of it I don't understand. I don't put my hands up and say I know everything, but I want you to break this down in layman terms, get your point across of what you're talking about, and who you think can help you, and where Ruairi McSorley is going now in 2024.
Well, what I have done in 2023, and I only decided to do this after I had finished the Happy Hour podcast, so I only just got it done in the last couple of weeks, was write a book about my entire vision for Ireland. And I just went through every bit of the country in its current form, and I just basically wrote out a plan step by step of how we could really do it better. And you were talking about education earlier on. That was something that I had put on. Like I had just went through my whole plan of like abolish the teachers' unions, performance-related pay for teachers, a teaching college for us to, basically say these are the things we need in the country, and then put teachers out that, are able to teach those things that we really need. A more result-oriented education system and an election for school principals, and like a whole mix of things. That's just been one example, but. I've wrote a book which should be out next week. I'm just going Amazon self-publishing. Yeah. So I'll put that out on my own Instagram and Facebook and everything and share it there. But
we'll put it on here, and so people if they want to get in and buy it.
That'd be brilliant. But
I've read a bit of it, but I want to chat to you first and I want more of a layman terms breakdown of it, because to me, you come across very, very educational. Mm-hmm. And some people think, sometimes it takes what's it take?
Goes over the ordinary people.
So I like it broke down. So that's why I want the viewers here. So
yes, well, I only written in that type of way just so it's there as a reference material for right. This is the real plan, and here it is. And once now that has been written, I'm sort of comfortable enough of right. I can just explain everything, sort of as you say, in more layman's terms anyway. But basically, the situation is, we are going to be moving closer to, a united Ireland at some stage, regardless. Now, the date's debatable. It's not something I'm trying to force or rush or anything else. But what I'm saying is, if we were doing that, we would be going into a completely new country, which would mean there would be an opportunity for the entire country to be rewritten. Now, the one thing that we are missing is that once-in-a-generation strong visionary leader. There's not really anybody like that that's coming up with the goods in the form of a real plan on how to upgrade the country. So I'm sort of seeing, I suppose, the personal gap for what I could fill in myself if I can come up with the goods, which I believe I can, and also the opportunity to upgrade the entire country if I did just get the opportunity. Now, the rules set out in the way they are, it would be nearly impossible for me to break in that type of way. However, if you can explain just exactly how everything would need to be broke down, and if I just use my own profile to get the people on side with my own ideas, well then, I believe it can happen. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And have you anybody in place, a team, or you'd like to bring in there to help you?
Well, I don't, but basically the first idea that I would have would be a direct vote for the election of Taoiseach, meaning that everybody in Ireland would get a straight vote for the leader of their country. And I don't see how anybody who believes in democracy can argue against that. So, how I would do that, it would take a revolutionary team to get this going in the first place. But what I would like to do is lay out a provisional government and say, these people are far better than anything that the current parties are putting up. Just have a great entrepreneur and for Minister of the Economy. Have a great architect and for Minister of Infrastructure. Somebody with a construction company and for Minister of Housing. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So basically, the way I would like to do it is say to somebody like that, just say, for example, say if there was like a Minister of Fitness, we'll just say, no, there's not, but just say there was, right? Just to give you an idea of the way that I'd be looking to do business with these people, is say, right, if you commit to ethical government service for a couple of years, right, then you would go in there and you would do the job and that's aligned with your expertise, and then you'd be in the paper all the time. Oh, do you know this man's a construction company, this man's a great architect or whatever. He's a great man, very smart man, he's a great, he's all the resources there. I need an architect, I'll use him. Do you know what I mean? So, you would be able to give people the chance to essentially grow a small business into a massive business at home.
Yeah.
And reward people for making it straight. That's one thing that I'd be very keen to do, because it's very hard. I think it's far too hard for people to make it straight. We need to make, if you want to stop people from emigrating and that, I think we need to be a wee bit more open-minded to let people declare their ambitions. I think that's something we could be a bit more generous about here in Ireland, because whenever somebody says, no, I really want to be somebody that way, sure, all we do is laugh at them. Mm-hmm. As culturally, as a country, I think that's, would you not agree with that?
Yeah.
So
will that give way? We want people to purchase this book, so will not give way. So I've heard you a couple of times on social media talking, you've mentioned Conor McGregor a few times.
Mm-hmm. Well, Conor himself seems to be getting pretty galvanised in the politics now, all right, so...
are you looking at him as a bodyguard, or what
I think that man would be a perfect president for our country.
Right.
Well, under the way that I would
you don't want to be president?
No, I want to be Taoiseach.
Right.
He would be ahead. I would see Conor more as, I think he's definitely a leader. He's very successful. He truly loves Ireland. I think he has a lot to add there, that type of way. But I think president in the revised presidency, the way the way that I would like to do it, I think he'd be a perfect leader. I would like the president to be basically the president of the state-run charities, to hold voluntary donations up to public scrutiny.
And would have you touched base through this?
Well, I don't have any contact for him, but that's something that I am going to do now. I would love to.
I have a friend there, D. Graham, does the suits.
I would love to, because I have basically went through everything that I need for the country, all of the different details on how we could upgrade each part there. So
I'll see if I can maybe have a word in his ear, maybe to touch base.
That would be great, No, I mean,
I seen him and Conor and Joe Brawley had a go at other. What was that?
Joe brought. I've seen that. Do you know? I actually said Joe would be a good candidate for Minister of Justice as well. Joe's a very smart man too. Now I would have to find a way of getting the two guests to either reconcile or avoid each other. But which are no bother to me. I'll get them. I'll get them in speaking terms.
I seen it there.
Then Conor would have to give him the seal of the Minister of Justice. Then he'd just tell him he wasn't getting it. Just say, you're not fucking getting it, Joe. Just
what do Joe's reply me, do you reckon?
I say, I think the president should practice the virtues of humility and temperance better than. I don't mind Joe.
As I say, you need a bit of crack too, you need a bit of fun,
I think they're both capable in their own way now, to be fair. But I think Joe would be a good Minister of Justice there, all right.
And you mentioned Carl Frampton when we were driving.
I have a new job that I'm going to create that I think he'd be perfect for. See, basically what I want to do in the North would be take cultural politics outside of government politics. Because people do only vote. I mean, people say, the DUP's doing nothing for us here in the Shankill Road. Then they say, all right, well, will you vote for them the next time? Oh, well, and then they say, Sinn Féin's for fuck all, and then they say, they do nothing, none of them can speak Irish, they hold the government up all the time, they're totally for nothing, will you vote for them? Oh well, people haven't abandoned their sectarianism, in terms of the way they vote, but I would say that's to do with the way the question's framed. So, the way I want to do it is make the cultural side more fun, more positive, more engaging by basically assigning the cultural handling of things over for the Irish culture, right? Make the president of Ireland, like this person that's elected, to make the Irish culture as strong and as good as possible, right? So that's their job. That's something that they're officially elected to do. And then create a president of unionism. Put in somebody good. I'll go over to Charlie, get him to legitimise the role in that. King Charles. So I'd go over and just say to him, right, make this a real job. Just this person's going to be elected just to promote the British culture here in Ireland there that way. So just anybody with a British passport and an Irish address gets a vote, and then elect somebody. Now put on somebody good like Carl Frampton. Not some fucking idiot like, the unionist politicians that you get at the minute, and just put on somebody like that there to make it, again, good and strong, and then you're basically ticking the orange and green outside of the government cabinet then, so the two are not against each other, they can't oppress each other, and then, but somebody sensible in to run the government then, just have one First Minister and fuck power sharing.
I was just looking at you need to watch too, if you put glasses on, you'd maybe be mistaken as Jerry Adams.
There's been a few Jerry Adams, Jesus, Lover King. Who else? Who else did we get?
Castaway.
Castaway. That was another one. And who else? There was a whole load of. Hey. Escobar. There was there was somebody else as well. Aquaman, Poseidon, Zeus.
So this
of a long repertoire. If I was. But
if I can say, touch wood, things don't go wrong for me in life. Would you have a job for me?
And King Rory's government?
Yes.
Well, you're going to be the Royal Fitness Director.
Right. And then I would travel. Would I travel the world with you then?
I thought you said you wouldn't get on.
America. Could you pull any strings?
Well, I'll speak to Donald.
Right.
We'll get him, I'll say. He's learnt his lessons. He's all right now. Donald let you on. Don't worry about that.
So this book's going to be available on Amazon.
Yes.
Right, is there a price setting on it yet? Or?
Oh, be about £12 or so.
Right.
Oh, it's very good. There's Amazon self-publishing. All you have to do is just upload like a PDF, and then just design a cover and that, and then just they go print and demand. You don't have to have thousands.
You have
of
a
copies.
seller's account and all on it, and right, right.
No, but you don't have to. No, what I'm saying is, back in the day, you'd either have to find an agent or you'd have to just you'd have to have thousands of books lying, and then you'd have to post them out to the people. But you don't have to do that now. You can just upload and whack away yourself.
Yeah.
It's a good job, like.
Well, Rory, I think I've nearly covered everything with you. I want to get these podcasts, done within 45 minutes to 60 minutes, so we get the viewers in and get them plugged in. I have to say it's great seeing you again.
Yeah, same to yourself.
I'm always hearing from you, and you're definitely you are what you are. People have said to me, puts that all on, that voice is put on. I can tell people now this is Rory. This is the way he gets on. You remember the time you done the best man speech for me?
That's right. John Cummins was wedding.
Yeah, you done the speech for me, and I brought you in, and
There's John and Deborah.
Oh, they're married now. It must be 7 or 8 years.
Oh, they would be. Yeah.
So just to the viewers, I let on that I had forgot my speech, and the fella down the hotel come up with the phone, and I was going on the phone. Next thing he says, I'm at the exit door.
That's
and
right.
And Rory busts through the doors, and the whole place erupted.
It was a good day.
This was just like after you.
The Greenville in Cookstown.
Yes, and then you you read my speech. Well, I'm here now. He says I'll read the speech. He says I know John 20 years. I'm only 19, and I remember those things there that you done for me. Like, and hopefully this podcast. I say I'm not here to benefit off you. I'm here. I've got 15 good years there nearly in business, and things are going well.
You've done well now, to be fair.
I have a decent enough platform now, and I want to get the likes of yourself on here. A bit of fun, a bit of crack, a bit of seriousness, and I've really enjoyed this podcast. So, is there anything there, Rory, you want to leave with and tell the viewers, or where you want to steer them to, or?
Well, I mean, the steering is going to be there's going to be a bit of an uphill struggle there. I mean, I know that for people to turn to accept Frostbit as any type of serious political leader is going to be a bit of a journey in that. I mean, I'm not going into that saying, I have to put on and be some serious politician. I'm sure that, I'm confident enough in the strength of my own ideas that'll stand out for itself, and I'm prepared to leave it like that. Now, I know it'll be a gradual process in building the type of support that I need, but no, I'm confident enough that if it's meant to be, it'll happen.
Good man, Rory. So I want you to finish off. I'll do my catchphrase at the end, and I want you to give your one way back in the day.
All right, lad.
What is it there? You wouldn't belong?
Oh, God, you wouldn't belong getting Frostbit.
Rory, thank you very much for coming on.
Right, Ryan.
You're an absolute gentleman. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the podcast, and you know the crack. Keep it LS. Aboo.